Welcome. We're here today to run you through a repair video for your North Sails Windsurfing 3DI sails. So I'm going to run you through the process. A few of the items that you need is you need some masking tape to be able to line up the tear. You need some masking tape to be able to mask off your glue area once we are getting there. We need some glue. The glue that you need is specified in the repair manual that comes with your North Sails 3DI repair kit. The repair kit is available either through your shop or through the B2C on our website. Also in the comments below, in the comments below this video, we'll specify some glues that you can use. You're going to need a marker to mark the patch. You're going to need a little paper towel or better workshop rag to be able to clean the sail and the patch with some acetone, so some high quality acetone. And I highly recommend that you use some gloves. The acetone especially is quite chemical. Also the glues can be quite chemical. I like to use a brush to apply the glue because it allows me to apply it nice and evenly. And then you need some scissors. For the scissors, I highly recommend you find some nice sharp scissors because it's going to help you cutting the patch and it's going to give you a really nice clean edge that is not going to fray. And then for the last step, you're going to need some weights. That can be a few books or any weight that you can find to be able to cover the repair and weigh it down because it needs to be weighed down and cured. So let's get started on how to do it. So the first thing we're going to do to stick it onto the repair, trying to line up all the fibers as closely as possible. And also if you have a bigger tear, you try to line up the fibers and the tear so that actually it's completely matching together, not overlapping, but also no gap. That's really going to help to put the right shaping into the sail. So I usually put the tape down on the part of the sail that's still good. I kind of just lay all the fibers where I want them, make sure everything is in position, then put the tape down. Right now I'm doing this on the front side where I'm going to also apply the patch. But I'm doing this on the front side because it's easy to work right here. Then I will flip the sail so we're ready to do a proper tape job on the back side. So don't use the tape sparingly. I would say almost a little bit more just gets you into the safe zone on making sure that no glue spills out on the backside and that actually your repair is going to hold as much shape as possible. So when we fix the tape on the backside, we can flip the sail back and I'm actually going to remove this piece of tape again because now the shape and the tear is held by everything on the backside. When removing this piece of tape, as you saw, I'm doing it very carefully, so I'm pulling at 180 degrees to make the glue release very easily. You might see some fibers sticking to the tape. You want to just peel those off because if you peel the tape with those fibers, then you may actually damage the sail a little bit more and we don't want that. So there we go, a nice clean removal of the tape. You can put this in the garbage and continue our repair process. Going to line up these lines that are overlapping some material as these sails are taped with tapes of 20 centimeter width. You can see these overlaps also on the repair patch. And we're just going to see, okay, are we going to use this line right here or are we going to use it like that? Just to kind of see how the patch is going to fit best onto the sail. So the repair is right here. I'm kind of pointing it out with my finger on this side, flipping the material up and kind of checking it like this. So make sure the orientation is the same. We can do the same like this just to check where the tear is. And then we're going to take a little marker and just make a couple of marks to be able to cut the patch to the right size. So on this side I want to have my patch go to there. Right here I would like to have my patch go more or less to here. On this side I think I can get away with a patch that comes to there. We'll do the same thing on this side, just kind of lifting the material and sliding your thumb to understand where the patch needs to go. Always round patches or at least round corners, so even if you make a rectangular patch, try to keep all the corners nicely rounded. So when we marked the patch, we're just going to check it one more time to make sure that we are covering the area that we want to cover. I would say about 30 to 40 millimeters outside of your tearing area is plenty to do. then we're going to cut the patch, but we're going to cut just inside the black line because we don't want to have the black line on the sail afterwards. So I highly recommend that we don't cut while you're on the sail below, because the point of the scissors could actually go through the sail. So put something under the patch and we're going to start cutting. While we're doing the cutting, I'm right away going to use the outside of the cut area as a template to draw the sail later. So try to make a cut that is as nice as possible. Don't just simply cut away all the material, but to kind of use the scissors to make a nice smooth curve, because with the scissors sometimes it's easier to create smooth lines than it is when you're drawing by pen. So I'm going to try and remove all the black that I drew on there, because I don't want to have a black edge around my repair patch, because that's going to make the repair patch stand out. So I'm cutting all of that off and I'm ending it nicely right there. So that's my patch. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little piece of tape and I'm just going to close up my patch so that I can use it as a template, because now I actually have this shape perfectly cut out from here, and I can use that to draw the sail and then mask the area where I'm going to spread the glue. So we're going to have to match these lines again. We're going to check the location, which is really easy right now because you have a little window of where the patch is going to end up. So this patch came out of this material like this. So we want to lay the material down in the way that we want to use it, just like that. We can center the tear right in the middle of the patch by using the window that we have here. And then we are going to mark it with a really nice thin line on the sail. I'm going to mark the entire circumference of where we're going to spread the glue. And then we can remove our template. We don't need this one anymore, so we can discard this one. And then we can use this line to be able to create your masking area, which I'm going to do right now. And then we're going to mask just outside of the black line. You can try to run your tape in a circle, which I find extremely difficult, so I always simply just make tiny little short straight sections, which actually result in a much nicer circle than trying to bend your tape. So once we have completed our entire circumference, I know, for example, I'm a messy worker. So I'm going to take some wider tape and I'm just going to mask the area around my masking area, just to prevent me from getting any glue onto the sail, because that would really be a pity. So we just make sure we rub the tape properly now that we can still touch it with our hands, and then we are ready for cleaning. So here we're going to take the patch. We're going to just quickly check the orientation of the patch, which side is going to be facing out, which side is going to be facing in. And then we flip the patch over so that we can clean the area which we're actually going to stick to the sail, and we're also going to clean the area that we're going to stick the patch to. So now that the gloves are on, I'm going to open the acetone up. I'm going to take a clean piece of paper, which is really important because we do not want to spread any dirt. We want to actually clean it. We just get it wet with some acetone like that, and we just rub it gently. Don't soak it in acetone. Don't leave the paper on there or anything. We're going to do the same with this one. I recommend you just do it on your hand like this. Let's clean this patch just like that. If you have some good acetone, it should vaporize really quickly. Then we open the towel. We take a new clean surface of the towel, which is really important because the first cleaning is just initial cleaning, second cleaning is proper cleaning. Do the same thing, and we just clean one more time the entire surface and also the entire patch, just to be sure we have a proper clean patch that's going to make sure that it sticks down the best. Then we're going to want to take a third surface, which maybe it's better if I take a new towel, just a little bit of a smaller one, and I'm going to try and clean a little bit in between the layers of the sail. Just like that. That's going to allow that to stick down nicely, and the sail structure will maintain its integrity. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to apply the glue. I've got a glue here that I need to apply to both sides. I'm going to use a brush to brush it on. The brush is a really easy tool also to get the glue to go under the fibers where I wanted to get some glue. Then I'm going to spread just a really thin layer of glue, and I can spread it all the way to the tape edge because I've already measured out that the tape edge is exactly the same size as my patch. I'm going to put a nice small layer of glue on there. So now we're going to apply the glue to the patch. We're going to do the same thing, use the brush. I'm going to brush it on nicely. To be able to get it all the way to the edges, you can try to do it on your glove like this, or one of the reasons why I have a nice white perimeter around my work area is that I can actually do it there. If you do it like this, be careful that you don't put this side of the patch in the glue. So just put the glue, make sure that you always run the brush off the edges, because the edges in the end are the most important part to have glue. If the edge starts to lift, that's the start of the entire patch actually coming off. Then we're going to let this patch dry for just a minute. So after you've let the glue dry for the specified drying time based on the glue that you're using, we're going to put the patch on. Now again, we need to check the orientation. On this repair, there's a really nice clear line running through, and that same line is running through here. So it's really easy to actually find the right orientation. And we just stick it right to the inside edge of the tape that we've applied to the sail, just like that. So we're going to press the patch around the perimeter really well. We're going to give it some pressure also in the center of the patch, and then we're going to remove the tape. We're going to remove the tape before applying the weights, especially because there is some glue residue on the outside over here, and also we want to remove the tape before the glue completely cures. Then we can quickly give it a little bit of cleaning to make sure all the edges are very clean, and then apply the weight to also make sure that the weight doesn't stick to the pad. So to remove the tape, I usually just take a tiny little piece of tape, rub it on the corner, and automatically the tape is lifting. Always when you remove the tape, never pull the tape like this. Always pull the tape at 180 degrees. It's the easiest way for the tape to release from the sail, and the smallest chance that you'll do any damage or pull anything out of place. So as you can see, I'm holding the sail right here and just pulling everything always at 180 degrees off the sail, just like that. Then we have a second ring to remove. Same thing, we're gonna pull the tape in this angle, and we're gonna make sure that we remove all of it. Some of it may be just under the edge of the patch, so we're gonna have to make sure that we pull that out. So normally we should be able, if you started at the right place, remove the entire circumference of the tape, which is now removed. As you can see, there's a little bit of glue residue left on the edges, so we're just going to take your second set of gloves. It never hurts to have extra gloves around. I only put one on for this one because I'm going to only touch the acetone with one hand. We're going to do again the same thing, just get the paper slightly wet, and we're just going to really gently just rub the circumference of our repair and make sure that we remove any glue or any pen marks that may have come out of the patch. So after the cleaning, we're just going to make sure, give it a final rub, remove any debris from the edges. Then we can remove our gloves as the work is done, and we're going to put the books on and let this repair cure to the specified time, as specified on the glue that you're using. Once the glue is cured, we still have the tape on the back side to remove. So to do that, you wait for the drying time of the glue to be finished. You remove the weights from the sail. We are going to flip the sail over, and we're going to apply a very similar technique as we did earlier on removing the tape around the perimeter. So I taped starting from this side, ending at this side. So I'm going to start peeling the tape right here. And we just peel again in 180 degrees. So as you can see on the back side, you can barely see that there was a tear right here. You just see a tiny little mark of the impact. On the front side, obviously, you see the patch. So now that the repair is done, your sail is structurally back to what it was. You can go out there and enjoy it. So all it takes is the repair kit, the instructions in the video you just watched, a little bit of glue and some time, and you can get your sail back on the water and go start it up. Enjoy.